The U.S. Open ended on Sunday. Pinehurst here in North Carolina. We'll talk about why Pinehurst is such a fantastic backdrop for the U.S. Open. We'll talk about Bryson DeChambeau finally, or I don't even know why I said finally, getting over the hump and winning his second U.S. Open and winning over some fans. We'll talk about it, but first we have to talk about Rory. Oh, Rory. Rory Mcllroy legitimately may never be the same after collapsing at Pinehurst on Sunday. And I don't say that as I don't not take any solace in saying that. I was rooting for Rory, and I know in this industry you're supposed to be completely objective, but how could you not? And that collapse is something of epic proportions. That is, a 3-0 lead and then getting swept to lose 4-3. That is being up 30 and losing. That is the Bill Buckner between the legs. Might be Bill Buckner between the legs twice. Might be like if he came back out the next inning and did it again. Rory McIlroy was 2 strokes ahead of Bryson DeChambeau with 5 holes to play in the U.S. Open. Rory McIlroy has not won a major in forever. I'll tell you exactly how long in a second. He was 2 strokes ahead with 5 holes to play. Bryson played the final 5 holes over par and won without a playoff. Do you know how many days it had been since Rory won a major? 3,598 days. Essentially a decade. 3,598 days since he last won a major championship. If you would have told me 3,598 days ago that Rory might finish his career with 4 major championships, I would call you a liar. I would say you are crazy. But yet here we are. Andy North, golf analyst, on the loss for Rory McIlroy.
I would think tonight's going to be just a miserable night for Rory. The putt on the 72nd hole was really a difficult one. It was, maybe 4 feet downhill, slider from left to right, had to play it outside the hole, probably a cup. Those are not easy to make, particularly the speeds, these greens. But the one at 16, I think that's the one that he's just beating himself over. And he played 2 beautiful shots and he 3-putt from 20 feet or whatever it was. That just kills you. But, he made so many putts all week long. His short game was beautiful. The pitch that he hit at 18 was a fantastic pitch. He pitched it like that a ton of times during the course of the week. It's just so sad that it comes down and can you make all those 4 or 5 footers? If you can, you've got a chance to win the Open. If you don't, you're not going to. And that was the case today.
Here's the deal. I'm hearing this a lot. Oh, that putt on 18 was more difficult than it looked. It had more break than it seemed. And, it's actually not that easy of a putt. And the one earlier, a few holes before, was so much worse. The broadcast pointed it out. Rory was 49 for 49 on putts inside 5 feet until missing those 2 in the final few holes to lose. That does not say 49 for 49 on putts inside 5 feet that were actually exactly as easy as they looked. It does not say 49 for 49 on putts inside 5 feet that were simple and straightforward. That says 49 for 49 on putts inside 5 feet. That's the ones with more break than you think, the ones with less break than you think, the ones that are uphill, the ones that are downhill. He had been making those putts consistently until the pressure ramped up. And then once the pressure sat on his shoulders, he missed them. And you may say, well, that's just 51 putts. That's not a big enough sample size. I can do you one better. According to Justin Ray, who is one of the kings of golf stats, you can follow him on Twitter, Justin Ray Golf. It's fantastic. Rory was 496 for 496 when putting inside 3 feet this season. He had putt inside 3 feet almost 500 times this season and had not missed a single one until all of the pressure was on his shoulders and he knew if he played the last 5 holes just par golf, you win. Then all of a sudden he missed a 3-footer. There's something to be said for how well you handle pressure, and Rory has to battle those demons.
It almost felt like you could feel his fate start to turn where I believe it was maybe hole 15 where he had the nice approach shot, but then it just kept rolling and rolling.
And I even have a problem with that. This is a perfect example. Thank you very much, Graham. 15. What does Rory do with his approach shots better than almost anyone? He can send them to the moon. He can send sky balls, right? He's been that guy. He's been the one with the hand-eye coordination that works at high speeds. He's been the one with the pretty swing. He's been the next this, the next that. He can send his approach shots to the moon. There were a few times, and I believe on 15, he sent little low skippers. And I'm going, wait. You don't see Steph Curry in the final minutes of a NBA Finals game suddenly go, I'm going to try to dunk. Right? No, what he does best is he shoots. It was like a little bit of everything for Rory, just not doing what he does. Right? The decision to try to change it up, not settling into a putt, second guessing your read on the 18th hole on the putt that everyone's gonna call him out as the choke job, the miss on the 18th, because I can't help but talk things out when I'm watching. I'm watching it and I think I was talking to my wife. He was lined up way left. I went, wow, he's reading a ton of break on this. And then you could tell on the actual putt, the swing and follow through, he kind of like half-armed it, right? He got nervous, which I would too, reading that much break on a small putt. So I couldn't help but think, why didn't he just go firm and center cut? Why didn't he just go firm into the middle of the hole? Hit it through the break. Or if you're going to read big break, commit to it. Rory isn't the type to not commit at any time other than when the world is on his shoulders. And that's what he's going to have to deal with. Right? Everyone's mad that he didn't speak to the media after. I don't know if you saw all this nonsense because you were there on Sunday, right?
I saw the video of him spinning tires.
Yeah, he spun his tires on the way out. Everyone wants to make a big deal about it. I think he should have stayed. Okay, I think he should have stayed. I think he should have answered questions, right? If there's a multiple choice, the best choice was stay and answer questions from the media. But guess what? Like from where I'm sitting right here, a member of the media, what do you want to get from him answering questions after the round? Talking points. You want to get how does he feel about it? You want to get storylines. Well, we got all of that from him spinning his tires on the way out.
6 minutes after the tournament ended.
How do you
pretty much tells you all you need to know.
Without him answering our questions, how do we know how he felt about the final round? The squealing tires on the way out 6 minutes after Bryson made the putt tells us everything you need. A picture, a video is worth 1,000 words.
And the video of him in the clubhouse watching DeChambeau sink the game-winning putt.
Brutal.
Or tournament-winning putt. Yeah, it tells you all you need to know.
This is as close as he's gotten to a major. Maybe other than when Cam Smith went nuclear and Cam Young was there with him as well in the Open a couple years ago. But this is not one that gets shaken off easy, right? We just played the audio earlier today from Coach Forbes, Coach UNC Baseball. And he said they have a 24-hour rule for wins, and it's even quicker than that for losses. That's not possible with this one for Rory. There's no way you're over it. This takes some doing to get over it. Takes some work to get over it. How do you not see this putt when you close your eyes at any big putt for the rest of your career? It's almost like if he's going to win a major now, he has to win it by 6. He has to do what Scotty Scheffler did in his first Masters, right? Be up by so much that you can 4-putt 18 and win anyway. Now let's get to the tournament. Let's get to Bryson. Do you ever wonder, and I know that people here in North Carolina are going to say, no, of course not, because North Carolina is awesome. But hear me out. Do you ever wonder how Pinehurst can compete with Pebble Beach, Whistling Straits, all the other oceanside courses for like favorite U.S. Open venue or for favorite venue to watch golf, favorite venue for a tournament? Watch Sunday, this past Sunday. Go back and watch, and that's why, right? I have a list of courses here. Kiowa Island, Pebble Beach, Whistling Straits, Bandon Dunes, Chambers Bay, Torrey Pines. If you're a golf fan, you recognize these places. If you're not a golf fan, just know that there are multiple holes on each of those courses that have like screensaver-worthy views, like the ones that you just beautiful ocean or beautiful water and sand and grass, and it all mixes together, and it makes it so when the golf isn't going on, at least you have something good to look at. And for everything Pinehurst brings, not a lot of water. No ocean views.
It is dry out there.
It is dry. The areas you don't want to hit it are just like kind of itchy looking grass. Like there's relatively flat. There's not a ton going on, yet somehow, some way, everyone in golf loves Pinehurst.
The course is essentially concrete when you really think about it.
At least the greens. At least the greens. It's like every bounce feels like it's off of a cart path. Pinehurst, no water, no ocean. Why is it so routinely called one of the best U.S. Open sites? And why are they now coming back? What is it, every 5 or 6 years it's in the rotation?
5 years.
Every 5 years it'll be back. Why'd they make that choice? Watch Sunday and you'll understand. It penalizes shots that deserve to be penalized. There's no loopholes in that course. You hit it off the fairway, your day just got tougher. You keep it on the fairway, it's pretty awesome. That's how it should be. That's how courses are designed, to penalize the right shots and to reward the right shots. And then what else does Pinehurst do? It sets up dramatic finishes darn near every time. Right? The collapse by Rory, the near collapses by Bryson, they were guaranteed to happen down the stretch at Pinehurst because that's what Pinehurst does. When you get a little tense, when you grip the club a little too hard, when it goes out just 1 degree different, you're not going to be okay. But guess what? When you make a bad shot, you shouldn't be okay. Right? When you make a bad shot, you should have a tougher next shot. The best thing, let's talk about Bryson. The best thing Bryson did, there were 2 things actually, and this is not an insult to Bryson. The 2 things he did best over that 18 on Sunday was get lucky and scramble out of the bad spots that he was in. He was not great off the tee. Some would say he was bad off the tee. But he was able to, once you get put in a bad spot, immediately turn the brain to, how do I get out of here? How do I make it better? How do I mitigate the damage? How do I make sure a bogey doesn't become a double bogey? How do I make sure a double bogey doesn't become a quadruple bogey after that? There were a lot of times he hit it into the deep stuff, and I was like, oh. Then they show the ball, and Smiley Kaufman was there, the courtside or the course side reporter, and he's just like, actually, I think he's going to be able to put a swing on this. May have a little bit of grass in his backswing, and I'm going, how? Other guys, they go into that same swing, same left, and it's like, well, it's right in the middle of the spider grass. He has a tree in his backswing and a root down there, and it's like, goodness gracious. But Bryson, up until 18, mostly avoided all of that, and then on 18, he dealt with it.
Did some landscaping on 18, too. Knocking that root out of the ground.
Ripping it out. But that was really the first time he got put in a bad situation, and he found his way out of it. You have to give him credit. A whole bunch of those other like shots where it's like, maybe that should be bad. It was in the bad stuff, and he found a way to deal with it. Andy North, golf analyst on DeChambeau's shot on 18, the one out of the bunker that should be seen as one of the all-time greats.
I mean, I think you could argue that goes down as one of the top 10 shots probably in Open history for a player to win on the 72nd hole. A 55-yard bunker shot that he blasted, that's impossible to do. Most players can maybe get 40 yards out of it. Not only did he carry it the distance he needed to, it ends up rolling up to 3.5 or 4 feet from the hole. So just an absolute amazing shot. If he doesn't pull it off perfectly, it might go over the green, double bogey, and all of a sudden Rory's standing there with the trophy.
I did not think the style that Bryson played, that won it, could be pulled off. But he did it. Right? We talked about the dichotomy of, I think it was Walter Hagen and Bobby Jones, and now we're going way back on the golf nerddom, but we talked about this on Friday, so we're telling the through storyline. Walter Hagen was the guy that was like, hey, on a par 4, you only need one great shot. Right? You could be in the woods. You could be over the green. You have one great chip, put it near the hole, tap it in, par. Right? Par 5, you'd be terrible off the tee. Next shot could be great. 2-putt, par. Right? There's actually, I think I may have even just drawn up a birdie in my mind. You only need one great shot, essentially, was Walter Hagen. He was the spectacular. Bobby Jones was down the middle, laser focus. You don't need any spectacular shots if you hit 4 really, really good ones. Bryson fell in the Walter Hagen camp. That shot that Andy North was talking about, the 55-yard bunker shot to 3.5 feet, was unreal. Unreal. So much so that I think Pinehurst is probably going to have to get used to or like reinforcing the windows on that clubhouse right behind the 18th green, because everyone that plays Pinehurst number 2 now, and you can just pay a bunch of money and go play Pinehurst number 2 like it's a public course, they're going to drop their ball right there, and they're going to see if they can recreate it. And all you're going to get is a bunch of hack golfers hitting it about 200 yards with how hard they have to swing. They're going to pick it clean, and they're going to drill the clubhouse. It's going to happen over and over and over again. That shot was unreal. I didn't think that was going to be possible at the U.S. Open at Pinehurst. I thought the U.S. Open at Pinehurst was going to require staying out of the situations that required the exceptional. Bryson said, I think I'm just going to do the exceptional. Give him credit. Little help from Rory coming back to the pack, missing a couple putts. You end up hoisting the trophy. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Oh, by the way, let's hear from Bryson DeChambeau on how it feels to win his second U.S. Open.
I'm so happy I got that shot up and down on 18. Oh, man. I didn't want to finish second again. PGA really stung. Xander played magnificent. I wanted to get this one done, especially at such a special place that means so much to me and SMU and my dad, what pain meant to him. 1000th USGA championship. I mean, just stack them on top. That bunker shot was the shot of my life. And I'll forever be thankful that I've got longer wedges. I don't know what to think. It fully hasn't sunk in yet, but I just want everybody to enjoy it as well.
Pretty happy. You're allowed to be happy after winning the U.S. Open.
Bryson DeChambeau, ACC legend.
SMU ACC legend. Very strong. The one thing I will say about Bryson is he is polarizing, right? Seems to be a love him or hate him guy. When you win the U.S. Open, I do think you get like a week of whatever, right? A week of be overexcited, kind of be on top of the world, be on cloud 9 before anyone becomes annoyed with you. For that purpose. You can be annoyed with them for other reasons. But for that purpose, he's allowed to just be happy.